It's another wonderful day to be alive, to be back here in the Issues Room on our 65th edition of our podcast. This evening, we're going to have a good conversation. Unfortunately, Moses Sandy will not be here with me tonight. He's under the weather, and so I'm going to be going solo here tonight. But it's going to be a good conversation. We're going to invite you. We'll open the lines. We'll invite you to chat, chime in, tell us, where the conversation is going. Be a part of, the conversation, whether you want to call, whether you want to text. Don't forget, the Issues Room is your alternative social media platform. We're here on Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 11 p.m. what we say Liberian time, but which is the Greenwich Mean Time. All of you, our viewers and listeners all over the world, we welcome you. We say thank you for being there with us and being our supporter. We are still trying to regain our momentum since we changed our page. We hope that all of you who we've sent our uh, invite to will accept the invitation. There's a lot of you, hundreds of you, that we've sent the invite to the TI room, which is actually the issues room. But you know the way Facebook work. Once you start something and it's in its archive, you have to just put a spin on it. So we had to do this just to keep the momentum going. So anyhow, we hope that all of you who recognize the issues room in the past can go and accept our invitation or our invite to accept us and be a part of the issues room. The issues room is your media platform, and we encourage you to spread the word, to spread the link, invite friends, invite others. Tonight, I want to hopefully ask you if you're there watching right now to let us know you're there so that we know that our broadcast is live because technology has a way. I always say, when you think that you're on course, it has a way of, pushing you around the corner. So again, Moses Sandy is not here because he's under the weather. But tonight we don't have a guest, so I will be going solo. There's a lot of things that we want to talk about. If you recall, we talked about some of the problems in Liberia, and what bothers me is that why do we have so much problems than solution? And a lot of people ask the question, why you guys don't prefer solution? Why you don't put forth solutions? But we do. But the unfortunate thing is, if people, okay, who want to do what they want to do and do it their way, and do not see the bigger picture, and this is not about a person, it's not about a group of persons, it's not about a particular group of people. This is about a country that was once the beacon of hope in Africa, a country that stood the test of time, a country that was proud of itself and its citizens were proud of it, a country where every other people ran to when they wanted sanctuary, when they wanted good things, a country where people used as the conduit to go to foreign countries, particularly America. Today, we're not that country. We're not that country. And why? Because certain group of people just don't want to change. The world has changed. You and I know it. The world has changed. And the world has changed for the best. Let's be frank here. The things that we're doing now with you anywhere in the world can pick up this podcast and be a part of this conversation. That has never happened. So that to tell you that when the world is evolving, Liberia has to evolve. So when we put these solutions forth and people just take them and throw them on the back burner, then nothing gonna happen. Nothing gonna change. But we have to continue to talk because the more we talk, I believe someone gonna hear. Someone gonna hear us. And we're not gonna shrink from talking. Especially me. I was paid to talk. As a journalist, as a broadcast journalist, I was paid to talk. So we're not going to shrink away from that responsibility, irrespective of who likes it or not. The truth here is we're talking things of substance, things of truth. things that are happening in our country. And we all can be a part of the change process. So when we put forth our little 2 cents, it's anticipated that people will listen. But when no one is listening, when no one gives a crap, because a few people feel that they own the time, it is their time, then where is the country going? Because let's put it right. If you met a country with 2 street lights working and you left the country with 2 street lights working, after 6 or 12 years, you've done nothing. If you met a country with 2 streetlights working and you put 50 streetlights there and you leave and they're still working, then you've done something for the country. This is not a strange phenomenon when we talk about these things. Who doesn't go to Liberia and see the depth of what's happening? Every sector of our country. Every sector. You sometimes want to look for the good things to talk about for the country. You can't. We have 350 miles of ocean waters. You tell me. Show me the tourism in Liberia. Show me the initiative. Show me the initiative of the government bringing in partners to do tourism in Liberia. That would be one important thing that can change our country's destiny. Jamaica, Aruba, the Barbados, all the little island spots, they're doing well. Big empowerment, citizens' employment, hotel chains. People look forward to going to these countries for vacation. You want to tell me Liberia can benefit that? 350 miles of ocean waters? Are you telling me for real? Go from Cape Mount to Maryland and show me any 10-story hotel along that ocean coast for 200 years of existence. Show me it. Show me any hotel on that ocean front line from Cape Mount all the way to Maryland. I said 10-story. I'm not telling you 15, 20. 10-story. Show me a resort. Really. I mean, Liberian did a little thing, gave credit to them. And even in the midst of doing that, you can imagine how much headache through all of the taxes and the regulations and the bribes and all those things that they had to go through. But let's be practical here. So we really want to talk about the good things. The country is great. It's endowed with wealth. But where is our wealth going? We see our timbers leaving the country. We see our gold and our diamonds. A group of people go and mine. There's no check and balance. We can't find those things, giving results to the citizens. So we really want to talk some good things about our country, but we can't find them. There's a whole lot of bad. But let me bring you to something that is trending now on social media, and particularly on Facebook and Messenger, because I've been approached a few times, and I thought to bring this up because this is a new scam. Where you will receive an inbox, somebody will say, hi. And then they'll ask you, have you received an email or any email from the DHS, and that's the Department of Health and Human Services, about a program that is going on? Curiosity, you ask, why am I to receive an email? And they'll come back and tell you, sir, there's giving free cash grant money to deserving Americans, and in the tune of $17,900. And I'm a blessing. That person now is giving a testimony. I'm a blessing, and this money is free. You can use it to get back on your feet and all of that. And then they send you the link with Christy Grimm. Christy Grimm is the Inspector General in the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. And her picture is there. And they make it seem legitimate. to create some degree of believability that indeed you can qualify. But the other thing to this is that they lure you into this conversation, and even it comes across as though everyone seems to be qualified, irrespective of your status, your income, whatever. So you go in and fill up this one page little application, address, email, and blam. In minutes or few, they say, oh, wow, you are qualified. You've been approved for $17,900 in grant package. That's great news. That's astounding. And you're happy about it. And only for you to, after a few emails back and forth, and they say, oh, or text rather, you did they tell you about the fee, the person who recommended you. But mind you, the person who recommending is asking you how the program going. Have you been approved? Right in the same time, the other group of or other person who's communicating with you via this link from Christy Grimm's page, and so you can just have that funny vibe. If you're smart like me, you start to have that funny vibe. What if by the time I'm talking to this person, then this person is keep on the other side pushing? So it got to the point where when they said I was approved, then when they asked me about the fee, I said, I don't have any knowledge of a fee. I was told I was approved, and I'm just waiting now for the next step, which is to get the money. And they said, oh, but before you get the money, you got to, pay a $400 fee for us to mail the package to you. So I asked, when is the package coming? And they said, oh, the package will be at your doorstep tomorrow at 10 a.m. But you have to pay the $400 fee. So then I said, I don't have any money, but could you just take the $400 out of the $17,900 you giving me and send $17,500? Oh, it doesn't work like that. We don't have the legitimacy to do that, but we processing everything, so you got to pay $400. So then I said, well, I don't have $400, so I would bill out. Then just approve someone who is deserving. And then the person becomes obstinate, very, very obstinate. Make it seem as though now you have agreed. I mean, you've been approved for a loan or a grant, rather. So you must get that grant no matter what. And then they start pounding back and forth, And I said, listen, there are more than 300 or 400 million Americans, and I sure everybody needs something. And I'm sure you have many candidates. Go ahead and approve somebody else. Down the road, if I have $400 and I reapply, and if the money is there, then I can, be a beneficiary. And it doesn't work like this. Your package is ready. It's already about to ship out, and blah, blah, blah. Then you know what to do? They send me, then they send me a funny little video showing the FedEx office with a box sitting on, and the people doing the job, but somebody may have taken that video subconsciously to them. And then what happening now? They want to create more authenticity that indeed this stuff is legitimate. So shot the video to me. I knew the video was quack. I knew it was nonsense. Just in that space of time, the other person then hits me again. So I said to the person, you say you got $17,900. Why didn't you borrow me, the $400? I will give you interest. This person replies to me and says, oh, I use the money to put in stock and I pay my bills. Come on now. You just got $17,900. You can't give me $400. Then you recommended me and knowing that I don't have the money to give, so I can get a $17,900 and probably give you a grand. because it's free money since everybody going and getting this free money, right? So after I went back and forth, I decided to break the ice. The next day, I didn't say anything. Then I waited. The next day, I woke up to another email pounding me to send the $400 or negotiating. Let's do $200. If you do $200, you can pay the other 200 when you get the package. So I'm thinking to myself here. So they tried to get $400 out of me, $400 that they couldn't get. So they decided that this guy cannot go without, suffering our financial scam. So we'll do 200. Maybe that will motivate him. So I still was very firm. I don't have money. And then the other person on the other side, who is the mediator, sends me another video of an old lady, Liberian woman, says she gave me testimony. I want to thank you for the assistance. And I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, how can people be so criminal? Criminal to take advantage of your own. You see, the last time when I said months ago how Liberians are wicked to themselves, every one of us come to this country. We went right through that James Springsby or Roberts International Airport. We came on airplane, we got here, we landed. Some of us didn't know our front from our back. We hustled our way, we went to school. We hustled, got a decent job to take care of ourselves and and live a decent life. But you got other people who came on the same premise and they want to take advantage of you and myself, who are working hard, who are keeping honesty, who are keeping dignity, who's doing what we're supposed to do to survive in honesty. And you have your own Liberian brothers who are sitting behind the scene trying to exploit you through criminal intents. So I was so mad. I eliminated that group chat or a person-to-person chat of the so-called people who had approved me for $17,900, and I turned to the person who made a recommendation, and I tongue lashed him. And then last night, another person came with the same scheme. So I just let loose out of my character, and I wrote them some very stern stuff. And if I tell you, those two people have replied, okay? If those two people have replied, then the word has ended. But they have not replied because they know that I have discovered the scheme. So I'm here tonight to tell you that there are people on Facebook, Liberian people on Facebook, telling people about a so-called grant money coming out of the Office of the Inspector General of the Department of Health and Human Services, Christy Green. I'm not sure if she knows about them using her as the conduit to lure people into taking the money. And they're talking about this fee. So imagine how many people will fall to this scheme, lose $400 per person, putting those money in other people's pockets to take care of their fund. Because some of these monies, they don't do anything good with it. They take your money and they go and have fun time. So I'm just setting this as a message. If you're out there and you're listening, pay attention. Anyone who sends you a message about being capable of getting a $17,900, you need to apply for it. It's free money. The federal government throwing away, giving to people for free. Beware. Because the attachment there is that you pay $400 to receive this package. Because usually when the federal government approves you for something, if it's a check, it's mailed to you free of charge. If it's monies that they're going to put into your account directly, so we request your bank account information and they'll wire that money. But for you to tell me that you're sending me a package and you show me a fake video of a big box, like you're sending me raw cash of $17,900, that is interesting. Very interesting. So I just thought to talk about this because, again, as I said, people are trying to be so crafty in the social media world. All of us are vulnerable. We are amazingly vulnerable. Every day, somebody is trying to get something, something by hook or crook. So we really need to be aware of the circumstance. So I just wanted to throw this out. Be aware of this new scam on Facebook about this $17,900 cash grant that is being given up by the federal government, and you must pay $400 as processing fee um, before you can receive your package. And interestingly, those very two people who contacted me, believe it, they don't appear on Messenger and say these people are not available. So it was the same way had it, gotten my $400, they would have disappeared on me. And thank God, Mama didn't born no fool. I was sharp. I was razor sharp. I kind of like told with them because I just wanted to poke them a little bit, and they were falling falling apart, and I could see it because the guy who made a recommendation. And interestingly, I called this guy, and he texted back to say that he was in a meeting, he couldn't talk. Yeah, because you couldn't talk because all of you are in one little big room, or all of you are in one cyberspace, and plotting against people back and forth, trying to extort money out of people through fraudulent means. And he never responded, even as harsh as I was, because if anyone is honest, and I was a little brazen in my words, you have said here, listen, brother, I don't have to go back and forth with you. Honestly, this is true. I got this money. Yeah, here's the evidence. Here's my blank check, or the check stop rather, with all my information, and you wire it to me. That creates some kind of belief. Now, I'm not telling you say you guys should go and do that, because it will. You can fake that as well, but I wouldn't go for that. I'm just saying. But for you to just go hire yourself, hire yourself, and now you disappear from Messenger and Facebook. I mean, the conversation between us, I still have the conversation, but you guys are not there. So please don't come back to me with this nonsense, because I'm not going to scoop to it. I am not looking for quick fixes. I go to work every day of my life as God will have it. Thank God I'm able to work in an honest situation and, get what God blesses me with through my paycheck and take care of my responsibilities. So I just wanted to sound this out rather as a warning that people need to be very, very careful, be critical, be keen, be inquisitive, ask questions when these kinds of things come about. Oh, and mind you, if you recall here, recently there was another scam they were carrying around here where people said they were doing susu, but it was a kind of susu where you bring this person in and this person bring 5 people or so many number of people, and each person pays $500. I know right here in the city of Philadelphia where a Liberian woman scammed her good friends. Today they are not speaking, her good friends, of the monies. Those ladies put the money together and gave it to her because she was the one that brought him in. And so she found a way to start using her children as the people she was bringing in. And when she took the people money, I think she made somewhere around the tune of 30 to 40 grand within the space of 6 months. Bought a brand new car. And when it was time for these folks to eat, they couldn't eat. So she took the people money. And today they are not speaking. I'm telling you. So all kinds of stuff. And who are involved with this stuff? The very African brothers and sisters. You don't even want to go with the Nigerians. You don't even want to go, So Liberians are all becoming a part of this kind of stuff. And these are the kinds of things that bring bad luck to our country, bring bad image to our country. We got to stop this kind of behavior. You're in a country of opportunities. Do you know how many Liberians who are wanting to be here and get up and go to work every day, who have the capacity, the skills, and want to do this? And God blesses some of you to come here, and then you want to take advantage of the system, things you rather think you can beat the system? You think everyone would be stupid to fall prey? But this is not good for the country. How many of these Liberian brothers are not being deported because of this nonsense they come here and do? They don't want to work. They want to drop their pants down. They want to ride flashy car, but they don't want to get up. Like get up 6:30 like me and come home 6:37. How many of them? You can only do this for a while, because sooner or later you get caught, you get thrown out of here, and now you turn into what we call Zogo in Liberia, because you'll be passing around confused. You didn't come here, you didn't develop yourself, no skills, no competencies, no qualification. You got in criminal activities, they nab you, to throw you back in Liberia, and now you become a Zogo. Then you got to find a way to survive on the poor people who are even poorer than your situation when you had the opportunity to be better. So folks, in the issues room, we hold these kinds of conversations because they're life-changing. They're important for our people to understand. Very important. Because I'm sure somewhere out there, somebody now is falling prey to this scheme. Somebody is falling prey to this crap of $17,900 free money. Imagine if the federal government is giving this kind of money to millions of people. You tell me, which government has that financial capacity to just give free money off like that? I'm talking free money. That's a lot of cost. And we're in a global economy where everything is crazy, pricey. The government is looking for ways to save money because we don't know what the next fiscal year will be, rather than giving money free to people. So no, this thing is a fake. Now, there are legitimate grants, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't work like this. There are legitimate loans, but it don't work like this. It's not a Facebook kind of, conversation between you and somebody luring you, create a fake link and using you. Then you send your money, because through that conversation, they're going to tell you where to wire the money. They're going to tell you exactly where to send the money. And then when you send that money, just like right now, those two people who try to recruit me, I would call it recruit me or initiate me, they're no more. They're no more. So any conversation I hold in that thread is not being deliverable, because the system did tell me that the message is not deliverable because the people are unavailable. They're no longer on Messenger. So they will have walked away with my hard sweat earned $400 for free. So that's for that. It's 7:30. Again, I said Moses is not here tonight, but we had this conversation to, come forth with. He's under the weather. Hopefully he will be back here Friday. But if you just joining us, this is Volcano Shelton here in the Issues Room. Our broadcast is Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 11 p.m. in Liberia and in other parts of the world that share the Greenwich time zone. This broadcast can be repeated or will be repeated on ABC Radio 105.1 FM in Monrovia. That's the Atlantic Broadcasting Corporation. Joe Wanda and Michael Toll, they're running that entity, and we want to just thank them for the fellowship. We're working behind the scene to get a correspondent We're tapping into getting a correspondent or two to bring us live events unfolding in the country. We already have a promising recruit. Um, I wouldn't disclose his name for now, but we're working on the modalities to get all of the things that will make it possible for him to be coming through live with us and sending us information and a lot of things that we'll be covering with him. Um, a few more people have asked how they can be a part of help to the platform. We're going to also look at the options to see if we can reach out to some of those people. Right now, the platform is out of pocket, Moses and myself. So, and the thought process here of our people is that when you're in America and you're sitting in this beautiful situation and the background and all of that, people think that it's serious stuff and you're getting the money and all of that. Well, some of us are not millionaires, not 1,000 years. We're 100 years, if that's what it is. And we have to make, go in our pockets to make these things work. So at this point, we have not reached out to the public to ask for any, support, donor, or anything. We're still trying to gain the momentum, but to let you really understand the facts here is that we take pride in what we do. And we take pride because we know that it is for the good of our country. It is for the good of our people. We're enlightened and we discuss the things that matter to our people. And this kind of conversation is what matters. We don't have to talk about CPP every day. If CPP wanted to be talked about every day, they will be doing positive things. We can't talk about, government officials every day. There are community driven things that are so significant, that we can talk about. So another thing I wanted to also add here to this conversation tonight um, is the high tariff on goods and containers at the free port of Monrovia. This free port of Monrovia is almost the only place where actually we can get things in the country. Now, the port of Buchanan, I don't know, the port of Harper, the port of Sano, I don't know how much they're being used as commercial, ports, but I'm focusing more on the free port of Monrovia. So people ask all the time, "Oh, you're in America. What are you doing for your people back home? What are you doing for your people back home?" And sometimes I joke about it and say, "The people you're putting in power, the people you're decided that will run your country, run your resources, run everything for you, right? Right?" I said, what are they doing for you on the grounds? Point to me what they're doing for you on the grounds. But many people want to do stuff here. Many people want to do stuff for you on the grounds, whether in healthcare, whether in education, people want to do those things. But pray tell me, and many of you here tonight, please comment. Please call. When the time comes, call. Pray tell me. I work in health and human services, and I'm able to lobby around some of the medical facilities, mental health facilities, and get stuff from them, whether fairly used stuff, right? Because people change things here a lot. And I'm able to assemble a good amount of stuff that can be shipped to Liberia. I come out of pocket, I go to a person who ships and I say, man, listen, I got all these supplies here and I want to send it. And I could even get some used computers and stuff, desk, textbooks, all these things, and I put it together on this container. I have paid for the container, I have paid for shipping and all of that. You tell me, when the container gets to the air, to the seaport, to the free port, what more do you want me to do? I should pay another $10,000 to free a container for things that I brought to give back to the Liberian people through public service, hospital equipment, to JFK, to some of the public clinics in the Leeward counties, school supplies to the public schools, and then you want me now to free this container and pay thousands of dollars when you have senators. And I'm sure a lot of you heard Milton Tiaje when he had that car issue with a girl from Minnesota and his son. They get, I think, twice a year, they can get whatever from the port without paying a dime. But you would think that twice a year, that Milton Tiaje and other senators and representatives who come to America would get things to take back home and give back to the people. Oh no, they come here to buy flashy cars, household items, furniture, and all of those things, take it back to Liberia to build a big palaces and get free clearance at the port. But if Volcano decide to do that, he has to pay thousands of dollars for things that he carrying back. So who wants to do that? Especially when we are not millionaires. I got Thomas Awaji here. I got other brothers here, Emmanuel Jackson, River Says Pro. If I say the Issues Room want to embark on a project to carry stuff to Liberia, whether in healthcare, whether in education, whether in computer literacy, we should have free of charge service at the port. Just follow the container. Just follow it, because we're reputable people. We're not going to sell this stuff to the people. We're not business people. We're not trying to profit or anything. So follow the container and see us give the container to the right places where we want to give them, and see if we take cash money. But if we're going to do this stuff free, then it's honest that we be given the privilege not to pay a penny at the free port, because we've already covered the cost to package, to ship, and to get it to Liberia. So if you can give a senator twice a year and immunity to ship whatever they want and not pay a dime, then people who are of goodwill intent, want to do well by the people, for the people, then you should give them the same privilege too. If it is twice a year or once a year, you should give that privilege. So that's the reason why a lot of us can do things for Liberia and Liberians. Because you ask the question, why you can do this, why you can do this. That's the same reason why we can do it. Because you're sitting there, you're not making noise. You don't see how these people treating you. These wicked people, your God say that lead us, then you don't see how they're treating you. But are we the one in America when we come, for vacation or come to give back, then we look like we the boogeyman, or we the ones who are boogeyman, but according to Liberian, we're boogeyman. But the boogeyman, right? We're the ones who are the bad guys. Then what's your common saying in Liberia? Your common saying is, y'all don't bring that American thing here. It will not work. Oh. For real? Liberian people, you're for real? Don't bring that American thing here. It will not work. But like the American thing that started Liberia, you forgot to know that? 1822? Wasn't it the American thing that started Liberia? In 1822. They just celebrated 200 years. That is the American thing. So if the American thing improves America, as you can see, infrastructure, decency, rule of law, free speech, development, then why you can't accept the American thing in Liberia? Why you continue to be backwards by holding on to your system that never worked. Every day you say, you don't bring your American thing here. You got one traffic light. One traffic light. The light say red. I'm parked there. Parked there. The light say red and I'm parked there. You come and say, I'm stupid. Why am I holding up traffic? You better go. Then you telling me, say, I'm the one stupid for waiting for a red light. But you passed by me. So I'm the stupid one. Because why? It is the Liberian thing not to respect the red light. But the American thing is to respect the red light. Because the potential for fatality, property damage, loss of all life and everything is the reason why we must respect the red light. So my Liberian people, just stop this bad way of looking at things. To say, oh, you don't bring your Liberian thing here. I mean American thing here. It will not work. It will not work. So what's going to work? What is it going to work? What really going to work for Liberia? Because the communist man who had all the American orientation now, it looked like he said he almost gave up. Because that's the kind of orientation he wants to bring. Communist wants to bring American orientation. Because it worked for him when he was in corporate America. Let's assume. And I'm just saying this out of my mind because Cummings spent a greater portion of his life in this country. So if Okino is coming back to Liberia, if Thomas Awaji is coming back to Liberia, you really don't expect me to hold a plastic bear water and drink it and just throw it anywhere? I'll be looking for the garbage can because that's the first orientation that I have. I will be looking for the garbage can rather than throwing the plastic bag or the banana peeling on the ground. That's the American thing. That's the decency in how we live. If I'm jammed to pee, I wouldn't go put my personal part on a person's fence or go behind somebody's window and pee there. The American thing for me to do would be, where your bathroom at? If even our outside bathroom, that would be the American thing to do. And that would be decent. Why you think we have a dirty country? Why you really think we have a dirty country? We have a dirty country because you're doing the Liberian thing. You're not doing the American thing. The American thing is decency. The American thing is respecting other, people's rights. That's the American thing. So it's sad, my people. It is sad. We cannot continue to say, don't bring the American thing here. The American thing is the origin of Liberia. Liberia started in 1822. The American thing was the formation of Liberia. And we can get back to those days. We should be able to get back to those days. Absolutely true. Because imagine how many Liberians out of Liberia. And if everyone wanted to return, can you imagine how much change that would be if you guys buy into the concept of decency, if you guys buy into the concept of honest work, if you guys buy into the concept of following the rules, following the systems that work, stop all the corruption. It is possible. There are countries in Africa that have advanced themselves because they have frowned on this kind of the African thing. There are nations in Africa that have advanced. I don't know how many of you seen the news article that came out of Rwanda, where 18 Chinese are being deported for coming to Rwanda and taking advantage of Rwandan citizens. 18 Chinese. And Paul Kagame says that he's sending a message so the rest of them who are there should know that Rwanda belongs to Rwandans. Can we do that in Liberia when the government official is in the pocket of the foreigners? Our president even has the spine. We see it. He doesn't talk. He's quiet. How many things the foreigners are not doing in Liberia? How many? Evil things to our people for petty cash that they call salaries. Petty cash. A man works for the whole month and make $25 US dollars, 25 for a whole month. But he expected to go to work every day, $50. The man stays out all night to be a watchman and you pay him $75. But when the armed robber comes, you want him to put his life on the line for $75. What type of people are we? Many days I lie in my bed and I look to the ceiling and I ask God, is Liberia ever going to be Liberia again? And with everything that we have now, with the globalization, and yet we can't change. With all this impact, the world has come together under one language, and that language is social media, where people know everything that is happening, that is trending across the globe. Almost nothing here is secret again. So what about us? What's wrong with this Liberian thing, this Liberian mindset? What is wrong with us? When will we change this? And this is stupidness. Somebody comes with a good intention to help impact change. And he said, don't bring out your Liberian thing. And that drives me to the next topic. As I, post the number now. Anybody wants to call and talk, I'm here. You can call. But if you guys been following, social media stories, focus on Liberia, our brother sister platform with Dennis Ja and Sony and those guys. They had the former commanding general, the late General Thomas Kuwangba's wife, on the podcast called Tyler Kuwangba. And I listened and watched that conversation between them this past week. And this woman articulated so many good things. But the most important thing she mentioned was the serious corrupt practices at the Ministry of Health. Can you imagine the Ministry of Health that's supposed to be the institution that ensures the well-being of our people is compromised to the lowest of human dignity, where you have healthcare practitioners are out of compliance, the licenses are outdated, expired. They're still drawing salary and they're still practicing. Where the minister has her own clinics, conflict of interest, the big one. And we've emphasized this stuff time and time now since this government came to power. The Minister of Education also has his school. There are people in the government, senators, Prince Johnson and Belling University, Thomas Fowler, T5 Academy. All of these things are conflict of interest. Because we have Senate standing committees on some of these important areas of governmental institutions. And honestly, you have a Minister of Health who runs her own clinic, and according to Tyler, during the COVID, her clinics were used The government doctors went to her clinics to work. So imagine all of that, what you call support coming in from the global community. Where do you think those things were going? I've heard in other conversation where she uses the ambulance, the government's ambulance at the John F. Kennedy Medical Center to take patients back and forth to her clinic. And so the woman comes in, takes a position, and she sees all of these flaws in leadership, try to empower nurses by doing ongoing training like we do here in America, ensuring that these nurses are up to date, their licenses are intact. She advocates for things that, supposed to happen in terms of doing evaluation and all these things. The first thing is, oh, she not coming here with her American thing. All this system we're running here, nobody can see what we're doing here. She don't want to come to expose us. So now she becomes the anomaly because she's the bad guy. And as I listened to that lady, and all my trips that I go on to Liberia, and from what I see and in conversations I've held in close circle, it is validated. I'm not telling you that there's no good person in Liberia. I'm not telling you that there are not few people who mean well for the country, who stand for principles and something, but they're so little to the point where their lives are on the line. You just seen it the other day. Auditors who had done the work and wanted to bring the work to the world. What happened to them? They were killed. They were killed. Murder. Are we going to use the word allegedly here now? Is that what the word is? Because this time they say when you're talking, you got to put allegedly because you're not sure. Interestingly, right? So when you go with good intention, like a Tyler who left a decent job here, I'm sure that Tyler didn't go to Liberia for the money. Some of the folks, they've stayed here so long. Imagine this woman, I believe, may have come to America before 1985. Before 1985, when her husband and Samuel Doe fell out, came to this country. That's about 37 to plus years, right? And she's advanced herself to the point where she's comfortable. Because Tyler's credentials she disclosed, that tells you that she's comfortable. I'm sure she made good money, 6 figures. Liberia will not pay her 6 figures, except where her job was tied to probably the United Nations or some international nonprofit that will handle her salary. But other than that, she's not making 6 figures in Liberia as a nurse practitioner. No, it's not possible. But wouldn't the country feel good about her citizen that is coming back to contribute to improving at least her department? Let's just put it that way. She couldn't change the whole healthcare situation in Liberia, but she started to contribute, having people do what you consider evaluation to know where they are. Okay, now let's look at your training track record. Oh no, you covered this one so long, it's obsolete. Here's the new technology. Learn this. She talked about even teaching people nurses how to read EKG. Some wanted to learn, so they took advantage of the opportunity. There were others who like, don't bring that American thing here. I want to stay Liberian there, I die. You understand me? So I don't think she went to Liberia for the money. I don't think so. but she went there to contribute. And I see this all the time, that when you and I who have advanced ourselves go to Liberia, there's always that pushback. You get the receptivity. It doesn't make sense. Even for me who's in the media, if I went to LBS, people feel threatened because it's like, oh, wait a minute, I want he coming here, he coming to my job. People feel threatened. And you can see it. It's in the aura, it's in the air. But no. I mean, I've just come to LBS and say, hey, can I help out? For free. Because it's my, call it alma mater, even though it's not a school, but it's, yeah, that's where I started as a journalist. That's where the love for the profession, the training, the experience, the competences all were developed. So it would be expedient for me to go back and visit LBS. The director general, whether know me from nowhere, once he or she hears my name and the purpose of my going there, to just quickly say, hey, director of radio, director of TV, director of this, here's Mr. Shelton. Let's see where we can have him come here and just do some stuff for our, younger broadcasters. I listen to broadcasters on the radio at LBS. Horrible. I'm not saying it because I want to be bad or mean tonight. Horrible. Because it is the same thing. When we were in communications and growing up, we had the people long before the war who were still there, and thank God for some of those people. Octavius Obe, Steve Makundu, Martin Brown, Patrick Manjo, the late Jesse Carnley. I could go on naming. Victoria Raffo. These were the people that we had some kind of, touch from. Sarah Hills Cooper, all these people, the late Alvin Fix. Matter of fact, my first outside broadcast I did was with Steve Makundu. My first outside broadcast, to hold a microphone and to give descriptive analysis of the event and what was trending and how to go about it, because we've rehearsed enough and it was time for me to showcase. You had to get to a place where they were very comfortable with you before putting you on the radio. Today, anybody's on the radio. Anybody. That's the Liberian thing, right? That's the Liberian thing. That's what we want to continue. But then when you get an opportunity now to come abroad for studies or for training, and you open your mouth, the people can't even understand what you're saying. They said, what the man speaking? Because you failed to make those improvements while you were home. When somebody calls you and say, hey, my man, the way you pronounce this word is not correct. Do it this way. You have a frown face. Who is this man who come in and tell me this? So some people who left from America and go to Liberia, when they try small, they see they can't change anything, they just become numb. I'm not saying they're going to follow them and start doing the same stupidness, but they become numb. And so as a result, the capacity building ceases. People do what they want to do. They remain in the modus operandi. No improvement. And then the institution collapses. That is what happening in our country. So Talo Kuangwa goes through all of this. Someone who wanted to return to her country, having been here for years, and just wanted to give back, irrespective of how much they paid her. She's qualified, but at least she wanted to give back to her country. The woman even made an attempt to help during the time of the Ebola. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf told her, I don't need you here. Can you imagine that? She said that. Here's a woman who advocates for women. But is it because of the Kumba story and what we know, from whatever happened in all of the political issues that took place in that country? But those things are behind us. We have to move forward. We can't continue to be this dark place for 200 years in modernity, in this time and age. We're still in the dark. And not just dark because of electricity. Not just dark because of electricity. Dark in the mind. Dark in the mind. Because it's the Liberian way. It's the Liberian way. You can take your private powder and just throw your pee anywhere. That's the Liberian way. You can take your dirt you made in your own yard and you go across the boundary to the next man's yard because his foundation there, he's trying to build a little house. You turn it into your dump pile. You turn it into your dump pile. You turn the man on a place into your poo-poo plantation. Poo-poo plantation, that way you turn the man place to. And he's supposed to be your neighbor. That's the Liberian way. We build beautiful things. We say we're designing, we're putting what they call cycles and stuff when you're building roads. What they do? They go there and turn it into market ground. So all that beautification, you can't see it. What type of people are we? What kind of swear on us? Now who swears? Who swears? Because God, I don't think God swears. Our own wickedness to ourselves. The absolute wickedness of the Liberian man to each other, put it that way. How can we remain where we are? So for y'all, some of y'all know that development you'll see over there, the thing that we're talking about, and I'm talking about we are time, I'm talking about the early time and the back in the day. Let's bring everything together. I'm talking about Joe, we are doing a little thing that early day, but that the development there, that the one you're bragging about, for real, you see your own sister countries right around you. You want to see development? So you feel complacent when you got all this wealth. ArcelorMittal sitting over there, carrying all your iron ore. Whatever that deal is in the interest of the Liberian people. Firestone came from 1926, took the rubber until they can't take the rubber no more. Look at the camp. Look at the road from around International Airport through Firestone. Look at the road. Is it because Firestone refused to do it? Firestone is not, they're not army to say they were threatening. It's an American company. Harvey Firestone from Akron, Ohio. But because the government officials got pocketed, and so they compromised. I've left Liberia 97. The same way that road looked at the same way the road. That Firestone road all through the camp. You can see it. Pache Kota, ba 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 ba. But they took the rubber until they couldn't take it no more. What is there that is showing? Why are we hateful to ourselves? And why do we settle for mediocrity? For the things that other people will not even accept. What's wrong with us? What's wrong with our minds? That's why I said we're not dark because Monrovia is dark. We're dark in the minds. We are horrible people. And I say this. Call me. The line's open. Call me. We're horrible people. And because you have a majority horrible, so it impacts me. So I'm horrible. I'm horrible because I'm a Liberian. I am a Liberian. Born and bred. So if 4.5 million Liberians are horrible, the rest of all who are 500,000 will be horrible. Because there's nothing we can do about it. It rubs off on our image. And the other day we were giving song praises to George Weah. They say our in a conversation the other day, man said, "Oh, that Weah put us on the map." There was a woman, rather, said that who knew about Liberia. So I asked the woman, I said, "You sure you know what you're talking?" Yeah, who knew about Liberia? That have open border put us on the map. I said, look at biology. Liberia, our country. Upon who were born 1966. Liberia participated in all of the funding organizations to maintain world peace. Then you say that we have put Liberia on the map. Yes, Liberia expanded, we are expanded Liberia's image, but he didn't put Liberia on the map. And in what type of image? Through sports. There are other fundamental things that Liberia has been good for. Other important things in Liberia's history that it has been good for. But I'm just giving you, this thought around why it is so bad for us to move forward, because this Liberian thing that we have settled on will keep us behind. So we got to move from this Liberian thing, because Liberia was not Liberia until America took free slaves to Liberia to establish Liberia. So the American mindset, the American Constitution, the American preamble in its Constitution, the American way of life, the American religion, the American education, all of these things went to Liberia. So when I, Volcano, who have spent the last 25 years in this country, come back to Liberia, I'm not going to be the Liberian way. It's not possible. You're not going to get that out of me. I can never be the Liberian way again because my orientation has changed. My mindset is different. I see things on a different plane. So I can never be the Liberian way. But I'm still Liberian. And I will take what is good of Liberia. I would definitely take what is good of Liberia and represent that. But I can't be the ordinary Liberian way where I drink the plastic bag or water, I just throw the plastic down. I'm walking down the street, I eat a banana peeling, I throw it down. I don't even look around to see if there's a trash bin or anything anywhere. I feel jam, I want to pee, I just look around, put my pee somewhere and just waste the water there. No hand washing, I just continue to go. Then I meet my man. Oh, my man, I'll shake his hand. After, that is Liberian thing. So you expect me to really do the Liberian thing? No. So, folks, I am very, 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 very saddened when we continue to hold on to this mindset. You don't bring your American thing here. But the Chinese come in with their Chinese things. And the Lebanese have come to Liberia for centuries with their Lebanese things. And other nationals come to Liberia with their own thing. And what do? They stick to their thing. They take what they want out of Liberia, and then they take that thing away, and then they leave and leave you with nothing. Because you don't want to conform to globalization. You don't want to change your mindset. You don't want to move forward. So when the dollar Kongwa comes to Liberia. A Volcano Shelton comes to Liberia. Thomas Awaji and Emmanuel Jackson. All these good, brilliant, intelligent guys come to Liberia. They come to contribute. Even my man Isionyi was in Ghana, very intelligent guy. Very, very intelligent guy. He's learning a whole lot just being in Ghana and the transformation Ghana has made. So when he comes to Liberia, the expectation is he will not do the Liberian thing because he has a whole brand new orientation of what, the world should be like, the world should feel like, how he sees the world. His orientation will be different. So when people come over there to come to contribute, and even some of the government officials who get jobs here and go over there and cave in, it's because they give up. Like I said, the people become numb. I think all the people that get job or appointed from America and come to Liberia, they come to steal or they come to just take away. I don't think so. But it is the system that they meet there, the Liberian way, the Liberian mindset that has not been able to change. That's what the problem is. The woman even said that. Somebody said that, oh, they can kill people for job business. For real? That kind of utterance makes me go to bed and quit. Get on the next plane and be out of there. If I were to be in Liberia working and somebody comes to me and tell me, man, anything you're doing, take your time because the people can kill for a job in it. And in my conscience, what I'm doing is to effectuate change, to make the system better. And I get that kind of warning. You tell me. That kills my spine. I'm out. I am out. Because I didn't go through these years of learning and growing to be killed for me trying to impact a situation, to change the situation, to add to a bad situation, make it better, or to clean up a system so that it works for everyone. And then I hear that, oh, if you don't be careful here, people will kill you for a job. But that's what's happening in our country. And so I'll give you the quick what's the word? Connection. The connection to the Tyler story about people practicing and being out of compliance and licensure are expired. So I watched the D9 TV of Nimba County, and a father with his little son, 5-year-old. I think the little boy name is Joseph or something. Kone, or yeah. The little boy was having eye problems, so his father took him to the local clinic because they said it was possible. He went to the Methodist clinic, and that was in I believe Saniquele or Saniquele or Kanta or somewhere. And what happens here? He goes there, and they said that hospital was closed, so they recommended him to go to a clinic. He went to this clinic. A nurse, a male nurse whose license is expired, but he opens his own clinic. Okay. Saw the boy and said that the boy was developing cataract in one of his eye. And he said to the father, I would prefer to do both eyes rather than do the one that is currently needing the operation. I use the word operation because this is a nurse. I didn't say an ophthalmologist, I said nurse. And after convincing the father gives in and allowed them to do the operation or surgery to remove the cataract. And to go ahead and do this stuff, I mean, you can imagine a nurse doing the work of an ophthalmologist, a person who went to school, went through residency, not a nurse who went and did a license practical exam, get licensed, and now they say they can take a cataract. But not only that, the man is practicing with his license being expired. So they perform the whatever on the boy, and 8 months later, after taking the blind or whatever, the child can barely see anything. And you see him, you can tell that he's going blind because there's a way the eyes look when a person is blind. It always looks some kind of way. So the young man now uh, decided to take this matter to the court. He comes to Monrovia. Not much can be done. Solicitor General tell him to go to the police station. The police people say, oh, they went there, they closed the clinic down. And the woman who was in the room with the man performing, she ran away. And the funny part about it, they say the charge is aggravated assault. How can medical malpractice be aggravated assault? I don't know. But that was what the young man said that the charge is. So right now, they said that they needed to go back to the jurisdiction in Lima County to go, through the case. But mind you, the little boy is deteriorating. So the father is asking for people, to come to the aid because, in Liberia, everybody got to come to somebody's aid. And so that the child can seek advanced medical treatment. But this is what supports Mrs. Kuangpa assertion that she met a lot of people out of compliance. A lot of people licenses were expired. And they were still practicing and on payroll. And were not even advancing in the field of study. No training, no continued development. So my brother, my sisters out there, our country is in bad shape. Our country is in serious bad shape. And it's clear by the appointments the president is making. Some of the people don't have the real qualification out of the experience. And they're appointed with the hope that they will pass confirmation hearing. The last case we talked about was the lady by the name of Wyndham Collins. What we heard further, allegedly, that she was on salary while in Kenya already. So apparently she was groomed for the job, never worked in maritime, that very maritime institution, has no clue, but goes to Kenya and lied on her resume about the school where she went to and blah, blah, blah. And she can't even produce the website of a school that she attended and about to get a graduate degree from in July. And sat there with a laptop opened at a confirmation hearing, which is supposed to be a job interview that you're defending yourself, showing your competencies and skills and your development, that you know the subject matter that you're talking about. And every question they ask her, she scrolls through the computer and finds answers to give. Because they told her, say, oh, go to the Senate. Those people are spineless. When we get in small money, everything will be okay. Yes. We've heard people who are in government positions say, but man, I get my little thing and I pass the confirmation. I ain't here for that thing. I got my job. That's the most important thing. We've heard these things. And they're practically true. Look at the appointment of the managing director of the airport authority. It's alleged this guy is in Liberia. He's already getting, amenities through the RI because he's appointed. He just needs to be confirmed. But in circles, he's there waiting to be confirmed. But he's already, enjoying amenities through the Roberts International Airport. And I'm again, again, it said when you want to get in trouble, just say alleged. So I seen alleged here tonight. But we in Philadelphia. We know what the stories are, the trend. We have people on the grounds. So how are we going to move this country forward when these are the things that we continue to do, to ourselves? To ourselves, So if I want to recap, we talked about this Facebook scam. Beware. If anybody tells you about $17,000, $17,900, just get in the F. Reply to them in the F, okay? Because it's all a lie. Anytime they come to you with these flashy financial, quick fix, get money scheme, please don't buy into it. It's all a lie. Don't you dare buy into it. Because a lot of people have been scammed time immemorial. And then we also talked about the high tariff at the Freeport of Monroeville. Thousands of dollars. In fact, I was in company with one young man, and that was one of his questions he asked. If you carry a car 10-year-old, you even got road and you say the people can't carry 10-year-old car. All because Ghana doing it? But Ghana built interstates now. Ghana has super highways. Liberia even got roads. So you want to tell me a car at that 11-year-old is not roadworthy for Liberia that I got to pay 20% or 30% and that money go in somebody's pocket? That's why you got so ratty car in the country because, this kind of thing make people don't want to even send cars. So the high tariff at the Freeport, something has to be done, especially, as I said, for Liberians who want to do humanitarian work for Liberians in the country. Whether carrying equipment through for healthcare reasons, supplies for education, adult literacy, computer literacy, all these things, we can find these things. I can mobilize 2, 3, 4 of my friends here in this very issue room space and say, my man, let's get together. But after we get together, we put our little resources together, buy the container, ship the container, you get to Liberia, then somebody sitting behind a desk, sweating like hell, and say, I should pay $12,000 to free the container. Hell, it can't happen. It shouldn't happen. Because what I brought to Liberia is given free to the people. I should not pay a dime. I should not pay a dime. I should not, or we should not pay a dime. But you can give the senators, you can give the representatives duty-free twice a year at the Freeport. And these people come here to buy the personal things. They buy the flashy cars, they load a container, they load stuff for, themselves. And they walk out of the Freeport free. But then I, who want to do something humanitarianly, I should have to pay $13,000 to free a container. That is why many Liberians cannot do much. So when you ask what you're in the diaspora doing for us, what you need to do, you're the local people, go to the Freeport and demand that anything that is of humanitarian nature, there should be no tax on it, no tariff on it. It should be free. Follow the container, send your representative, follow the container to where it's going to be donated and see if any change of monies, then you can have a reason. Now, when the container is donated and given, whatever happens, after we've done our part, if the people decide to go back and sell it, we can only go now and make our case to say there was not a purpose and then maybe bring those people to book, prosecute or so forth. But other than that, we don't think that when people are trying to be goodwill ambassadors, to put their resources, their personal resources together, lobby, find things that will contribute, whether in healthcare, in education, whatever it is, when that container is loaded and gets to Monrovia, that container should be set free. I use the word set free because sometimes y'all can hold a container until the thing's rotten in the container, all because somebody got to give money. So we need to understand these things. Our country is not going to go forward. We can't always talk about who and who. We got to talk about the things that making it difficult for us, the things that making it difficult for us, and are those sort of things that we ourselves continue to, overlook. We continue to overlook those sort of things, but it can come a long way to be big things, and it's deprivation to our people. When if we got all these Liberians here in the U.S. can do much for the country, but you're not creating the opportunity and the corridor and making the environment enabling enough for people to do more, then it just kills the spirit. It kills the spirit. And let me just say something practical before I wrap up here. I remember George Weah when he was coming to Liberia. I was in the media. I commentated some of the games of the national team. And I used to go to the camp, when the camp at Lawana, when the camp, in places, and he'll come. And there were times that he started to get fatigued because he was footing the cost of transporting the national team to places like Abidjan. And in one conversation, he was demanding to be paid back. And that was during, I believe it was probably one of the last interim government or Charles Taylor government. Was demanding to be paid back in the tune of $30,000, and he chartered a flight to carry the national team on an international competition. So I'm just saying this to take you back to the very George Weah who was doing some good things and wanted to feel that his efforts was embraced. So what now has changed differently that he's president and he cannot come out, and say, listen, if the senators can have twice a year free, duty free to bring whatever they want to bring, then any group of Liberian or Liberian nonprofit in the U.S. or any humanitarian effort coming through our port should never be taxed. Let the people get a container and give it to our people. Whether it's in ambulance, in vehicle, whatever it is, school buses, whatever it is. And then you see how much improvements, how much development there will be, how much our people will be impacted, and I think that would be the way to go. That would be the way to go. So, folks, I just thought that I had to go solo drive tonight. There were too many burning issues here. I wanted to talk about. Moses Sandy couldn't be here. He's under the weather. I will hope that he will be, improved by Friday on our next production. But I just want to thank you all for being there, here in the Issues Room with me, Volcano Shelton. Join us here on Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, which is same in Liberia. Our broadcast is on Tuesdays and Fridays, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. And a repeat is carried on ABC Radio 105.1 FM in Monrovia. That's the Atlantic Broadcasting Corporation. I'd like to thank Joe and Michael for the collaboration. We also said that we trying to get some things worked out to have some correspondence on the ground in Monrovia to give us live feed of trending issues there. We should be doing that very, very soon. We just need to work behind the scene, Moses and myself, to raise the monies to begin this part of our project. Again, we are self-supported, coming out of pocket. We have not reached out to anyone. Any grant has not been raised, but we're looking at the possibility because we're here to stay. And I'm telling you, it's going to get bigger. Coming 2023, these elections for Liberia, we want to be front and center. We want to be strong We want to discuss the issues, particularly the issues that will, usher in the right leadership for our country. Whether Mr. Weah goes back, that would be the will of the Liberian people. And whether the opposition, and I got another important topic to hold, probably would delve into that on Friday. And I will not let the cat out of the bag, because I see as a tendency here, when you let the cat out of the bag, other platform go taking your topic and run with it. So I'll keep that topic, and we'll come on Friday and we'll discuss it once Moses is well. If even he's not, the issues room will be here. So thanks to Thomas Awaji for coming in the house tonight, my brother. It's tough, man. We can't do it without you, Emmanuel Jackson. Izondo Isianyi, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. It was good conversation. We didn't have a lot of people in the house, and as I said, it's because we're coming back with our platform, but we'll gain the momentum. So we just want you to continue to encourage others to listen and join us, because our conversation is quite different from anything else on social media. Thank you so much for being there. Have a good night.